What's up, everybody? We have the amazing Karolyn here. Karolyn, how are you
Hi.
doing? I am
I'm
so
doing
excited to have
good.
you here. You are one of those, there are certain people in like sub two and in my orbits who I'm like, hear about them all the time, hear that they're doing amazing things, but
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to talk to them at all.
Yeah.
And it's been cool. There's been certain people that I'm like, why don't you just come on the podcast? And then like I'm gonna get to know you on the podcast. Might as well just do it
Love
that
it.
way instead of like having a private conversation. Why not share it with the universe?
Thank you. I
So
appreciate you having me
I,
on.
I just want to say I've heard so much, so I'm excited to have you on. Welcome to Scorch the Fears.
Thank you so much, Jonah. I hope you're doing well today.
I love it. I am indeed. So, real quick, for the people who don't know who you are, kind of like tell everyone what you do, what you're working on, what's your business, all of that good stuff.
Sure. So I'm Karolyn Briley. You'll see me, my little IG handle there in my name. I'm in Dallas. My husband and I, we are business partners together. He's taking down the world with the kids over there. But I'm in Dallas. We've been here since 2014. We just started our real estate business about a little over a year and a half ago in May of 2021. So we're kind of newbies to the business, but we've had a lot of success. We joined Sub 2 in August of 2021 and really built our momentum and community from there. We've, just been launched into this amazing world of creative finance and this beautiful community that we're a part of. And Jonah, I know you're a part of Astro too. Astro family is amazing. So we all just love working and JVing together. We started out with some creative deals, wholesaling some deals, all in single family. And then we still do that. I was just talking to Jonah about direct to agent, which I'm sure we'll get into in a little bit. But we got into multifamily last April of 2020.
Woo! Let's
Yeah,
go.
got into it and quickly started learning the ropes and everything of the business because it's a totally different animal. And we acquired a 30 unit and a 40 unit within about a 6 to 7 month time frame. So right now we're
Nice.
sitting on 70 multifamily doors and just a little handful of single family doors right now, creative sub twos, about 4, soon to be a couple. I'm also a mindset coach. You'll see that in my little name there. I got certified alongside my bestie, Elena. She was on here earlier.
Nice.
And yeah, I do that as well as another way to provide value back and help people with all their mindset stuff. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Love it. Awesome. So, what this podcast is about mindset. I will get into the multifamily
Yeah.
at some point too. We are going to talk a lot about the multifamily, but I am really curious and I want you to explain to the audience like what is a mindset coach and why should someone have a mindset coach?
A mindset coach. So, you hear mindset coach. Coach is like the most familiar word for people to hear, and that's just like the most relatable term. I kind of like to say guide every now and again because I'm really there to guide you and help you stay accountable to the things you want to set forth in motion for your life and mindset things. Like we're both in real estate. We both know that like 90% of this game is all in here, right? And the 10% is what we bring and materialize to fruition in our life. So for me, a life and mindset coach is breaking down into the foundational layers of who you are, where you're coming from, why are you coming up against these blocks in your life? Why are you not necessarily reaching your goals? And kind of breaking that down for you and seeing what is realistic, what aligns with you, getting you back to your innermost alignment with yourself. Forget about all the external environment around you and just getting back to who you are and getting you on that path that will get you to where you want to go.
I love it. So, Carolyn, you know this. I told you this before the podcast. I always start with one question in
Yeah.
particular, with all my guests, and that's when you were just starting out in real estate, like what were the fears you were dealing with
Oh
and
my
how did you overcome them? Because there are so many newer people on here watching this podcast right now wondering like, how do I own 70 multifamily units? Like, how is that even possible? Like, I
Yeah,
feel so small. Like, I haven't even done a single family wholesale deal yet. Like, how am I going to reach this mountain that Carolyn's already gone to?
right.
That am I even worth it? So, like, what were your particular fears? What were your mindset issues? And then how did you end up overcoming them?
Sure. So my particular fears, and I still go through everyday challenges. I don't think that ever really goes away. It's an ever evolving process, right? It's just the awareness we carry with ourselves about what we're going through. So my fears initially starting out was I don't know anything about real estate. I don't know where to begin. I come from a very creative background. I'm a visionary like yourself. I'm a photographer. I have like all this creative work behind me. And it just felt like such a disconnect bringing that into this new foreign entrepreneurial real estate space. Like, how do I make that work? Right. And not knowing the knowledge and slowly educating myself through sub two. A lot of it was, I think everyone resonates with this when you come into sub two or these mentoring communities, it's like, what kind of value do I bring here? Like, how do I even provide value? And just really not knowing how to navigate that world, coming across all of these people that have had tremendous success inside these communities. And you're sitting there like, when am I going to get a paycheck? Right. So I will say one of the biggest hurdles that myself and even my husband Myron went through is this created pressure of when am I going to get my first deal? When is that wholesale check going to
Mm,
fit? When's it going to hit the bank account, right? Because we're all in. We don't have W 2s. We don't have stable income, right? So we need that
right.
active income. And when you get like trapped in this needy energy and needing money to come into your life, it just drowns out all of the opportunity that is waiting for you, right? You're so focused on the result and the destination instead of opening yourself up to the opportunities in front of you and how to provide value and help to other people. So that was one of the biggest things is stop placing so much pressure on the expectation of the results and just start like being a go-giver, right? You're an amazing go-giver, Jonah. Like it's just just radiate that out to the community and it will instinctively and innately return itself back to you.
I would even say not just to the community, guys. Like,
Right.
obviously, the community, if you're in the communities and you do it, then it's just easy money. Like, it's just super. Like, it's if you're in Sub 2 or Astro and you're being a go-giver, like, things are
Mhm.
going to be insanely easy for you in general, right? Just because you're just surrounded by go-givers. But
Yeah,
I would say, even to the universe, being a go-giver is the
absolutely.
difference between people who are successful in this business and people who aren't successful in this business. I would like, what do you, if you had a formula for success in this business, Carolyn, what would it be?
A formula for success would be to open myself up. Like the more you give, just exactly what we were just saying, the more you give without the expectation of receiving something will only exponentially increase your opportunity, your wealth, everything. Your doors will start to unlock one after the other. And you have to be open to working with people, literally joint venturing with people in our networks, in our communities, locally, virtually, whatever it is. That is the key. Work with other people and be a giver and don't expect things in return. Don't be entitled. Yeah. Oh, you got muted, I think.
Sorry, there we
It's
go.
okay.
So I understand definitely go giving gets you there. Do you feel like this is like an interesting conversation. And I think I'd probably say this. I'm curious your opinion on this. I would say that go giving actually gets rid of the fear a little bit. I think it's one of
Mm.
the most effective methods for getting rid of fear is giving to another person or helping somebody else out. I was kind of lucky in that I was probably like second generation sub two. Like I actually joined sub
Yeah.
two. I joined sub two, I think in like July of 2020, like
Wow.
really in the
Really early.
beginning, right? Which honestly, I think that was just lucky for doing that because if you had a go giver mentality and then you joined really early, then just naturally, I like it just happens where people come to you and being like, "Hey, I got a question about this. What is this?" And I remember being like, "I have no idea, so I'm just gonna pass this off to Vincent or like ask Vincent." Vincent was like, he's also in California, and he was kind
Yeah.
of my
Lonza.
like mini, my mini mentor apart from Pace, right?
Right.
What do you think of that? What do you feel like is the best ways of getting rid of fear? I go giving, I think, is an amazing way. But should you like you're tripping about a deal and then you give $500 to charity, or like how do you do that? What do you think? What are ways we can get people tangibly to not be afraid of making the first step of getting their first wholesale deal or
I
first
think
real estate deal?
Yeah, I think you bring up a really cool, valid point of like actually go giving is releasing that fear because it's truly coming, like getting rid of that scarcity mindset that so many of us carry and literally giving out from yourself to others is such a switch to an abundance mindset. And that takes place all over this community and I love it so much. Taking the steps, like the little imperfect action things that you can do to make yourself just a little bit uncomfortable and push yourself forward is it's literally in the action of you doing something that is unknown, that is scary, that doesn't feel comfortable, will literally start to break down the walls of fear
Mhm.
that you're living in, right?
I love it. Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
So, what is like when I see mindset coach, like are you like can someone actually call you and like have you be their coach? Like is that what that means or does it mean something else? I'm just curious because I actually don't know.
Yeah, so I go through like a discovery call process, right? So just to make sure we're an aligned fit because it's kind of like a personal trainer. Let me just relate it that way is like you're going to align with a personal trainer who who meets what you're wanting to achieve, right? You know, if you're wanting to do a specific diet and a specific workout routine, you want to find someone who works with you and aligns with you versus someone who's totally not on the same page. So, yes, I go through a discovery call process to see like where you're at, what kind of life mindset blocks are we going like working on. A lot of my clients are organically from sub 2 in our real estate communities
Right.
because, you know, they know me and there's trust and relationship in that initially. So I will say that a lot of the things circle around business, but at the core of it, it is truly life and mindset. And I have to make that a little bit clear because it's like if you want a business coach, you have to go to a business coach, right? You have to
Right.
go figure that out. But for me, it's like starting at the very beginning foundational layers for you to build off of. You can't build a house on sand, right?
Right.
So
What are the layers that you feel like people are missing usually? Like what do you feel like is most commonly you're seeing with like your clients that are coming to you being like, "Karolyn, I need a mindset coach." Like what are they saying to you? What are they dealing with and then how are you helping them set that foundation so they're able to do what they need to be doing?
yeah, it's a great question. One of the I'd say there's a few common themes in the clients that I take on is number one is they're not valuing themselves. They're placing everyone else's needs and expectations, external factors, everything above what their needs are. And they're internally like burning themselves out. They're just
Right.
not realizing it. Another thing is they're scared. They want to focus on, it's so easy for them to focus on business and not value themselves. They're
Right.
not looking at under the surface layer of what is going on, because it could be scaling in your business or something to do with money, or like, oh, I need to invest money, or even investing in me. It's like this, you have these blocks that surround your life and you're not able to push through. So it's literally breaking those down and seeing, where is this coming from? There is a bit of a parallel and a similarity to maybe therapy, where we look at the emotions and the situations and the events of your life that may have created a block in your life. But for me, and my goal in coaching is to uncover that and take you out of that. How do we create actionable steps to take you out of that mindset and to push you little bit by little bit by little bit in the direction of progress? Right? So that's kind of where I'm at. Let's focus on the progress and not the past. Like, let's uncover what we need to go through and work from there. You're muted.
Keep forgetting that I'm
That's
muting
okay.
myself. That is
You're good.
freaking awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. I think everybody should be hiring you for a mindset coach. I have a business slash mindset coach already, but if I knew you were doing it, you would have been hired first, probably.
Oh,
But
thank
unfortunately,
you
I
so
didn't
much.
know.
I appreciate
You
it.
would have been it. So let's get a little bit into you and a little bit in your story. So like
Yeah.
how did you hear about real estate? How did you start getting into it? Like take us through. Like how did Karolyn become Karolyn in the
Sure.
crazy multifamily mogul?
Thank you. So, real estate kind of started trickling into our life, my life, let's say, in the form of like, oh, I'm seeing these cool tiny homes, right? And I'm seeing these people who live in these tiny homes. And oh, wouldn't it be so cool to like run a community of these little houses, and kind of tapping into my creative side, because you always see tiny homes that are really cute and funky and everything like that. And it's just like, what a lifestyle. What does that look like? And at the time, we owned our first home here in Texas. And so it just was kind of that we didn't really have a grasp on it. And coupled with that was, I have like a true entrepreneurial spirit inside of me. And it wasn't necessarily tapped into fully until I became part of this community and like really start unleashing what's inside of me. And I think I'm really just getting started. But we came from, my husband had a W-2 and he basically walked away from it. We had a little bit of nest egg saved up. He quit his job 2 days before my birthday at the very end of April. And it was like the best birthday present I could ever get. So I was just like,
Him quitting his job was the
him
best
quitting
birthday present.
his job, right? It's
So
like
talk about that for a second, because
the scariest move ever.
I know why that was the best birthday present you ever got. But explain it to most people because I find it hilarious. Like we're probably the only types of people, entrepreneurs or real estate investors, who are like applauding people quitting their jobs
You're
and like
right.
hoping they get out of like the
Yeah.
W-2 stuff. Well, like some of my friends are like, "Are you crazy?
Yeah.
He like quit his job?" So
Nuts.
talk about how, I mean, was it scary at the time or were you just full on like amazing? Now we're gonna really start hitting it.
Jonah, we were like super in this mix of like feeling amazing slash scared
Mhm.
shitless, really.
Right.
Like, excuse my language, but like we were freaking scared. But we knew that if we didn't jump then, we would never do it. We had sold our first house just before COVID hit in
Mhm.
2020. And luckily, his job lasted him through COVID, like the initial break of it. We didn't know what we were doing. We were like holding on to our money, like, what the heck? We don't know what's going on. So finally, he left. And I said, we have this money. let's just go for it. Like we've always wanted to do something together. We've wanted to like make money for ourselves and get our time back, get time with our family back. We have 2 young daughters, and it just felt like, let's go. Like if we don't do it now, we're never going to do it. And we jumped right in.
Love it.
And we had no idea what we were doing. Like no idea.
Who does, you know?
No, yeah, who does? But at least like, when you see people in sub 2 now who are leaving their job, but they've like have this foundation already set, like, okay, sub 2, I got the education, I got the this, I got the that. We knew nothing. We started with like bigger pockets meetups, finding out about BRRRR strategy and all these different things. And it was like, this is not getting us anywhere. Right? Like all respect to bigger pockets and BRRRR people and everything, but that's not like Pace says. It's like not a beginner strategy. So when we came into sub 2, it was just like total brain unlock. But yeah, we were freaking scared. It was the biggest blessing we could have ever given ourselves. It's still not easy. There's like new challenges you encounter every single day. But like we're going on almost 2 years of being W-2 free and being all in on this business. And it's just been like such an amazing accomplishment, achievement for us, just that in itself.
I think it's insane how much like these communities like Sub 2 Astro boost us so much quicker than we would by
For
ourselves,
sure.
right? Like I would say, at least for me, I'd probably just start getting my wholesale business off the ground now after 3 years of being in the business. But like with Sub 2 and Astro, it's been like
Right.
insane, like how much we've been able to get done. So how'd you find out about how'd you find out about Sub 2 and all of that stuff?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny and ironic that I was at a local Bigger Pockets meetup
Mhm.
and someone there, she's like one of my good friends. She's like, "Oh, you guys should get into creative finance." And I'm like, "What the hell is creative finance? I don't know what this is." She goes, "Check out this Pace Morby dude on YouTube." And I'm like, "Okay." I come home, I tell Myron, I'm like, she said to go look at Pace Morby. And obviously, that's like a total rabbit hole thing that happened. It was like on a Saturday, and by I think Monday or Tuesday, we were having a discovery call with Sub 2, right? So we like binge watched so many YouTube videos. And the YouTube can only give you like so much education, but we knew like, okay, we needed a community, we needed people and resources to just build a stronger foundation for ourselves. And I was pretty skeptical. Like I was still skeptical at that point. Myron was the one that was like, okay, let's do it. We're going to sign up. And I'm like, okay, it's that first initial.
Had you done a deal yet?
No, we hadn't
Okay.
done any deal. We had been circling in real estate, May, June, July, and by August we had joined. So
Gotcha.
these like 3-ish months, we were just kind of doggy paddling and not knowing what direction to go. We had actually locked up a contract. Like we were going to buy a property and BRRRR it, right? Like we knew what we were doing. We ended up like losing 5K to the deal, just really beginner things that happened. So we're like, okay, we don't want to lose any more money for our stupidity. So let's join this community. But I was definitely a little skeptical. Like, this feels a little too good to be true, right? I think a few of us can resonate with that of, I don't know. Is this like how is this going to work? And there's so many Zooms and there's so much information. Like, where do I even go? But yeah.
Love it so much. It's
Mhm.
true. I mean, like it definitely is a challenge at the beginning. Like how long have you been in real estate before Sub 2?
Just like 3 months since that
Okay, so
May,
like
like May
almost
2020.
nothing.
Nothing.
Gotcha.
No, for
None.
sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How did you, because you're big in it, right? Like you're a very big, you're a prominent leader in Sub 2, and that's awesome. I think this is an interesting question to ask was like, and I think might be good for the people who are in these communities. I know a lot of people watching are in sub two. How do you become a leader? How do you become someone that Pace actually wants to elevate and like actually help other people? And in general, not just Pace, but just in general, how do you become a person that other higher level people want to elevate and do deals with? And whether
Yeah.
it's me, you, Pace, Jamil, or any other person they want to do business with in real estate.
Yeah. That's a really important question that a lot of people should listen to. So it goes back to that what we were just discussing a little earlier was you're giving, you're being a go-giver without the expectation of something in return. So getting Pace's attention only happens because you're already doing something that is helpful to other people, not for someone else's attention. Like you have to know where your intentions lie. Are you truly helping from your heart? Or are you helping to gain something, the attention from Pace or X, Y, and Z that's not in alignment with who you would, the person you're trying to help or something like that. So for us, it was going into the Facebook group and going into the comments on the posts and like, how can we help them? How can we like get them one step closer on this deal? Or how can we point them in a direction of a Zoom? How can we just relay any sort of value that we were able to bring at that time as beginners to them to help them, and it out of pure genuine generosity and genuineness from our hearts. And we also started doing like a lot of stuff in the local community here in Dallas. We do a monthly meetup every month now, but just getting people involved in the local communities was really important, not only to build relationships with ourselves, to grow our business and do more deals and everything like that, but it's literally like we've helped so many students just from the meetups get their first deals, and even inside the community get their first deals. It's just like this growing process of the more you learn, the more skills you gain, the more you're able to provide value and give back. And that's really where it comes from. Just like giving out of the pure genuineness of your heart is, ultimately someone's going to notice, but don't do it for that. Do it for you. Do it for who you want to help.
100%. And I like talking to the people who are a little bit of the realists because I had a little bit of a mindset thing when I was starting where obviously I like helping people too, but
Yeah,
I always was like, well, like giving is great, but it's not gonna like physically get me deals. It's not gonna actually put money in my pocket. What it's gonna do
yeah,
is it's gonna make people like me more, and then that'll be cool. And then eventually like it'll lead to something. But no, it's literally leads to money in your pocket, guys. Like it
absolutely.
actually when you give to other people, then they start bringing you deals. They see you as an authority figure, whether it's in these communities or just in general. Like I'm now starting to get deals from social media and like just from helping out people there and doing like all these little educational reels and stuff like that and this
Yeah,
podcast. And go giving can come in so many different ways, whether it's being boots on the ground or like bringing leads to somebody, whatever it is, no matter how early you are. I think that's like the best way to get started in real estate. So I kind of just wanted to re
yeah.
re-emphasize what you were already saying. So, guys, follow Karolyn on Instagram. Do you have a YouTube yet?
I do. We do have a YouTube. It's kind of our joint YouTube at Karolyn and Myron. Or at Karolyn and Myron, all spelled out.
At
Miron.
Karolyn and Myron. Okay. And then follow her on YouTube. Send her multifamily deals, guys. She's looking for them. She needs them. Again, make sure you have a T12 P&L address and it's performing and it's creative. I should put in
Mhm.
there.
Yes,
And this is 100% what you guys should be sending her. She's amazing. Karolyn, another idea for you.
yeah.
Just FYI, are you doing a Zoom on multifamily in sub two?
I need
I might just
to.
be at
We
it.
need to start doing some multifamily Zooms.
I,
I have a lot of things in the
not just
background.
you guys need to. I need you to for me.
Yes. Yes.
And so just FYI, the community needs it. And also you're definitely going to find exactly what you need that way, I think. I
Yeah,
think
for
that'll be the
sure.
way.
Love it.
So cool. All right, guys.
Thank
You
you.
guys are amazing. Karolyn, you did incredible. Freaking killed it. Next week, we have on Sarah Miller. She's like a big goat in Astro. She's really a cool person. Probably don't know her yet, Karolyn, but she's on the up and up. That'll be fun. I love it because that's going to be her first podcast, which I love doing for people. But Karolyn, you're amazing, guys. Send her deals. I'm going to end this one. Scorch the fears. We're out. Let's freaking go.